Hello, good morning, and in this video I will show you how to use arrays in PHP. An array is nothing but a collection of variables of same data type referenced by a single name. In every programming languages we use arrays to store multiple data, a large amount of data, and process them. So in like other languages, PHP also support arrays, but other languages support only two kinds of arrays. We basically say first is called the single dimension array and second is called the multi-dimension array. Other languages support only two kinds of arrays, but PHP support three kinds of array. First is called the simple or indexed array, and second is called, this is also a single dimension array, but this is called associated array. Associated array. So third one is called the multi-dimensional array. So our PHP support three kinds of arrays. So how can we declare arrays before PHP 5? Before PHP 5 we use array variable in this way. Suppose I want to store the array of names, we use array named function, and in this array named function we basically provide names. Suppose Ajay, Vijay, Sunil, Anil, Amit. So we can provide any number of students Amit. If I want to store the elements, but from PHP version 5 and above we use different styles of square brackets. Again the same thing, whatever I write here I don't need to get this element array function, we can write it here, fine. So this is the way we can use our arrays. So let us start with this one. I am going to start my PHP code. Let us start. This is my first example of indexed array. Now we will talk about indexed array in this video. So first of all I am going to enter names, and how can we do that? We can use this way, and suppose as I already done, this is my simple array. I am going to save my file in the C drive, and XAMPP htdocs, I am using XAMPP, and in this way I am going to create a folder in the htdocs folder, say demo. Okay, demo. And in this demo folder I am going to save my file with the name first.php, first.php. So what I need to do in my notepad++, I am going to launch my program in the Google Chrome. My server is running. So this is looking, why? Because I haven't using my server, I am removing the path and using localhost, fine. So you can see my server is running and everything is okay. Now what if I want to print my array? I can't. There will be an array, and the error will be array to string conversion failed. Basically we cannot use array variable with echo. So how can we print our array? We have a different function named print_r in order to print our array. Okay, fine. You can see my array is displaying here, fine. This is my array. My 0th element is Ajay, 1th element is Vijay, 2nd element is Sunil, 3rd element is. You can also print this array in a very good way. I am going to use pre-tag. That will display my array elements in the better way. Pre, and saving it, and look at this, the output. This looks nice, and the pre-tag will display in my actual format in which my array was stored. This says that array has been created, and this will be the indexing, this will be the position in which the values has been stored. So what if I want to print the specific element? How can I do that? I am using names, that my array, and then I will provide the index number. Suppose I want to print the value of Sunil, so Sunil will be my second index. So I am printing 2 and reloading the page. Look at this. So this is how can we access our elements. But what if I want to print the whole array with the help of loop? Then how can I do that? Printing the array, printing the whole array. We have two different ways. We have a for loop. We can declare a variable I is equals to 0 because my index will start from 0 to 4. $I is less than what equals to what 4, and then $I plus plus. This is if I want to print my array with the help of, I'm using br and dot dollar names, and I am going to use the index number $I, and let us save it. There will be an error, and okay, I was mistyped. Now look at this. I have printed all my elements Ajay, Vijay, Sunila, Neelamit. This is by using simple for loop. By using simple for loop, and we have another way to print the array. How can we do that? Printing the array by using for each loop. For each loop, this is the new loop. For each loop, basically this was used this is used to basically print the arrays, and in this loop we basically first of all provide the name of the array, then we use the keyword as, and then we create a simple element, any element, suppose say data, any named element. Now what will happen? Every value stored in names will be stored one by one in data, and in the loop we can use the data. We can use the data, and look at this, what will happen. Fine, for each loop everything is okay, but what we need to do, the br we can use directly in this way, and I'm going to use br, and let's do it. Look at this. This is how we can use how can we print my array with the help of for each loop. Here we put the array name, and then here we use the temporary variable that will basically store the element stored in my names array one by one, and then it will print. So this is the way how we can use our indexed array. Why we called them indexed array? Because they are indexed by numeric values. So this is how we create the indexed array. Now we go to the second thing. Now in this file I am going to explain you the second kind of array, that is called my associated array. Associated array is what? In which we basically define our own names. We associate our values, we associate these values with our named keys, our named indexes. We can define the index by ourselves. So how can we do that? Suppose let's say I am going to use this array, copy, and I am going to paste these values. So I am going to provide 101 for the key, and then use this symbol, 102 for this, and 103 for this, and 104 for this, and 105 for this. So this is the way how can we use associated array. We can assign the values, we can associate these keys with the values. That's why these are called associated array. We create the association, the key value association. That's why they are called associated array. So in this array I can define, in this array we define the association, of values in the array with the values with the key. Basically we define the association. So how can we print? As I already told you, if you want to print the whole array, you can use print r function. Print r function is used to print the whole array in the raw format in which they are stored. So I'm going to using the Chrome, and then removing this path, localhost, okay, name, okay, names, this is the names, not name. Look at this. So you can see in my previous output, the output was 0 1 2 3 4. By default they takes the indexes from 0 to serial in the serial way, and here we are using the user defined key indexes. We have associated our indexes, user defined indexes. So this is the way. So if you want to print some good way, pre and echo / pre, and look at this. Now you can compare the values. The index has been changed. Fine, this is the way. And if you want to print the value, if you want to print the any value, you can do. How can you do? $names and then provide the index number. I say 104, and 104 is for Anil. It will print the value of Anil. Look at this. You can use for each loop for printing the whole array. I am using heading style to print the whole array by for each loop. So how can I do that? I am using for each loop and then $names as $data, and I am going to echo my values. They are $data. $data is nothing but the value that will be stored one by one. And look at this, the output. Very good, very bad. This is not good. Closing h2, and then look at this. So you can see my elements has been printed. What if I want to print the keys also? How can I do that? I want to print these values with the key, because we have defined the keys by myself. How can I do that? I can provide the structure in which I have associated my key. My key is here, my data is here, because I have provided my keys here. After this is the symbol and then the values. So here is the key, here is the symbol, and here is the value. So we can define $key has $data, and look at this, what will happen. 101 has Ajay, 102 has Vijay, 102. So this is the way we can print our array by using for each loop. So this is our associated array, but this is not the only way that we can assign the numeric values. We can also assign the textual value for the indexes. So this is also the example of associated array. Let us start with this example. And what I need to do is that I am going to create the associated array with textual index, textual associate index, basically in this way. $names. So how can I do that? I am using array, or you may use this one. Basically I will start from this one. So first of all I am going to create the roll number field, and then I am going to provide 101 comma. The name will be Ajay Kumar, and the city will be New Delhi, and the marks, marks, and that will be, let's suppose, 89. So this is my array. I am going to save my array with share.php on my server, and let's print echo pre and echo closing of pre and within these I am going to print my array, print underscore r dollar names. Let's see what will happen. I am going to run my output in the okay, fine, remove this and using local host. Let's see. So you can see our array is stored in this way. Now these are our keys and these are our values. Remember one thing, do not repeat the keys. Do not repeat the keys. So this is, now what I want to do, I want to print the marks of a student. How can I do that? Marks is equals to marks is equals to dot for concatenation dollar names, and I am going to provide the key, and look at this, what will happen. Marks are 89. So this is the way we deal with this. Suppose I want to use for each loop, we can. This is possible. Names is my name of the array, and dollar key from dollar value, whatever name you can provide, and I am going to echo dollar key colon dollar value. You can provide any kind of text, any kind of value, whatever. This will be printed as it is. And look at this, what will happen now. We have to use br, and look at this. Roll number is 101, name is Ajay Kumar, city is New Delhi, and marks is 89. So this is the way how we use associated array in PHP. So this is very important concept if we have to use the arrays in PHP, because in next videos I will show you how they are important. This is the most important way, because our forms are handled in associated array, and we have to get the values in this way. So next thing we need to do is that, let's suppose I am talking about multidimensional array. This is multidimensional array. Multidimensional arrays are what? Multidimensional arrays are nothing but they are array within arrays. So how can I do that? I am going to declare the names, and look at this, I am going to create the array. Basically we provide roll number and names, and for.php. So basically what I need to do, I am going to create the key, and the value will be this one, Ajay Kumar, that I basically have done. But this is not the value, but in case of multi-dimensional array, this is an array. My second element 102 also is an array. Fine. My third element is an array. So in this way we can say this is the multidimensional array, because there is an array within arrays. This is an array within another array. So how to define these one? So basically I am going to create the name, and the name will be Ajay Kumar. Fine. And the second thing is city New Delhi, and marks is equals to 89, and I am going to copy this, paste this, and 79 and 80. I am going to change the names, Vijay, Sanjay. So let's print this array. How can I print this? Echo tree, because I want to display the structure, how they are stored when we using my multi-dimensional array names. Look at this. And I am going to open this in Chrome. I am going to remove the path, change to localhost. Look at this. my first roll number have an array, this one, this one, this one. So this is the way we can store the multidimensional array. So what I want to do, I want to print the first element, that is an array, print underscore r. My array name is names of 101, and look at this, what will happen now. Names, dollar names. Look at this, what will happen. This will print my this array. So if I want to use the name of the student, I can. Fine. This is the first array element and second is this one. So in this way we can use the multidimensional array. This is used in most of cases, but we will discuss very small because of lack of time. I don't want to make my video so much large so that will become confusing. So this is the way how can we use the array. For each loop, dollar names as dollar key and dollar data. Look at this. So I am going to print the, first of all I am going to print the roll number. Roll number is dollar key, and I am going to use the HR for horizontal rule, and look at this, what will happen now. I can see my roll number has been printed and the details I want to print, but this is an array. Basically the value is an array, the data represent my array. So what we have to do, we have to use the nested loop. Example, my data is my array as $kk to $vv, $vv and $kk. $kk represent these keys and $vv represent these values. So what we have to do is that, please look at this, echo, I'm going to print br $kk colon $vv, and that's it. And look at this, what will happen now. Okay, fine, but there is a problem. I'm removing this, and I'm going to print a br so that that will look clear. Now roll number 101 has following details. This is not good. I have to use this one, but why this is blank row? Okay, I have, because basically I have added this one. I will add this value to this one. Now you can see, now roll number 10 have the following detail, 102 has the following detail, 103 has the following details. So you can use the multi-dimensional array in this way. So this is the way how we can use arrays in PHP. The simple and indexed array is what? The array that is represented by index. We do not provide the index, but it is taken from 0 to serialized. Second is called the associated array, in which we define the indexes. We can define the indexes in numerical way, or we can define it in the textual way. And third one is called the multidimensional array. Multidimensional array means array within array. So this is the array concept. Please, thank you. Next time I will show you how to use these arrays in how to use this concept in form handling. Thank you very much. Have a good day.